Thank you very much. We now move to the distinguished gentleman from Texas. The gentleman, Mr. Gill, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses for being here and taking the time. Mr. Patton, I'd like to start with a few questions. For you, my understanding is that GAO serves as an arbiter of bid protest challenges, but the decisions are non-binding. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
What's the rationale for contractors to use the GAO as a venue for bid protests, given that they're non-binding?
One of the benefits of the GAO bid protest system is that if you file within certain timeframes, you get what's called an automatic stay of performance, meaning that the agency can't move forward with awarding or performing the contract. That allows GAO time to administer and resolve the protest. That's one of the chief benefits of filing at GAO.
Got it. Do you think the GAO would like those to be binding, those decisions?
I think GAO recognizes that there's some true separation of powers issues. Since GAO is a legislative branch agency, we don't want to be perceived as overstepping our lane.
Right. Do you think it would change the landscape if they were?
I think there would be significant questions that would need to be resolved if GAO were given authority or asked to do things that might be perceived to be an executive function.
Got it. And can you provide a couple of examples of some more egregious examples of companies bid protesting?
In what context? We have protests where we have sustained protests. We have protests where we have denied. There have been some instances, as I think alluded to before, we did have a vexatious protester who filed numerous what we might consider meritless protests, and we barred that individual company from filing protests at GAO.
Do you see that happen often?
Not at all. Actually, that was an anomaly. And since 2018, when we have implemented our electronic protest docketing system with an intended filing fee, we've seen a drop in protests and a drop in repeat filers.
And that's what I was about to ask you. It seems like the current process has the potential to create delays because contractors would file with the GAO first, withdraw their case when they anticipate losing, and then subsequently initiate a new case with the Court of Federal Claims. And you're saying that doesn't happen often, is that correct?
Don't have the data to answer that question, but what I can say is the Court of Federal Claims has around 200 or so cases. So if that is happening, it's happening in a very, very small number of cases.
Got it. Do you think that this process should be reformed in any way?
I think that if there are legitimate questions that people have about its efficacy, those ought to be explored. And to the extent that there are concerns, they should be addressed. But I do think that we do need the data to support whatever concerns might be identified.
Based on your experience, what changes would you like to see?
Right now, we do think that the system is operating as intended. I think that we have not seen any need to initiate any reforms. That doesn't mean that we can't do so if some are in fact identified.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Patton, and I yield the remainder of my time to the chairman.
Thank you very much. The gentleman now has yielded back his time. I would like to amplify, if I can, in the remaining minute and 30 seconds, the admiration that I have for each of you, all three of you, to come and engage this subcommittee. There are always public comments, there are always public perceptions about bids, processes, fairness, the processes involved in that. And I have found that in speaking to each of you three who are deeply involved in this process, that you are providing this subcommittee with your feedback, notwithstanding there are members who have offered some bit of a challenge to that and sustained not only where we are, but what we're attempting to do. I will speak to it on my 5 minutes, but I wanted to use these 42 seconds remaining to let you know that I see little difference between you when you all talk about the system, except to say that you want it to remain fair. You want it to remain something that is a part of a public discussion. You are open not just to feedback, but that you find that the openness by each of the agencies as they go about their business is properly performed by GAO. The GAO has a part in that process, and that outside counsel or these companies have knowledge. And I want to thank you, and I think that Mr. Gill started to get at that by asking the question, well, do you need any changes? And I think that what really happened is Mr. Patton clearly said there are perceptions, there are ideas out there, but in their review, please make sure you address those before you go change anything. And I want to thank the distinguished gentleman for Texas. We now yield back the time and move to the gentlewoman from Washington, D.C. for her 5 minutes. Gentlewoman is recognized.